Hi, welcome to the Flickerverse Show, the show we ask all the important questions of the what ifs, which mirror world we can visit. Um, Today, it's for the first part just Androl and me. The rest is out and about, traveling the Flickerverse. We are waiting, we are awaiting Camille, who should join us. How you doing, Androl? You good?
Yes, I am recovered from last week's sickness, illness. I don't know what to call it.
That's
I had a really bad cold, so now I'm better. Back
that's
at it.
awesome. That's awesome. So, shall we look what have been happening in the fandom the last week?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, that was an awesome part. Priyanka boosted um, the snack water calendar picture for October with our dear friend Leah,
Yes,
the roof mistress.
yes.
Um, and of course, Taylor responded. Um, can we zoom in? Yeah. Thanks, Tekinor. Yeah, they had a fun go after each other. It was awesome. And such a great honor for Amy.
I mean,
Yeah,
this calendar is so amazing.
yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Here we have CL Clark, who is the calendar picture for November, I remember correctly. That is our
Ah,
original,
ooh, no.
the best. The
Yes.
best picture, and it rounds out the year in December. That's awesome. The next surf trap. Now we have to decide. Hello, Victoria. Yeah, the calendar is awesome. Now we have to decide whether we do the snack water calendar next year. I say we, but it's Brian the Gleeman and our own Rob Malkier Talks who put all of this together. But I've seen after Priyanka going or boosting the October month that some people were rooting for some pictures by Priyanka to do an Alana calendar next year. Or maybe
Oh, yeah.
both. Maybe both. That would be fine.
I like that. I mean, that picture. Come on, dude.
He's just too handsome. Seriously.
I really need to go and hit the gym. Oh, I feel bad. This Taylor is just giving me, ah. Oh gosh. But these pictures, I love these pictures.
Yeah.
just being bored in the trailer. So what do you do? More selfies.
Yeah. I'm so glad we didn't lose any one of Alana's waters yet. There were some theories while season 2 was approaching and running. Yeah, and the birthday dance. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Oh, that.
Happy belated birthday to Daniel Hannay. And I love seeing stuff like this because you see how much fun they have on set
Yeah.
and behind the camera. it really shows how great they're going along. That's awesome. That's all we need because it makes great chemistry. Yeah, that was awesome.
Look at that leather work.
Yeah.
I mean, some people get off by, snack water pictures, but this. This
I'm
is my
sure-
kind of dirt. Look
I'm
at
sure
that ice.
Queen is drooling as well.
Whew. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
Mistress Dovere heard us say
I
the
know.
word leather
Yeah.
work and
Yeah.
just appeared in the chat. It's like, is this some kind of, summoning call for you? Yeah. Oh, leather. Here I am. Oh, look at that. I mean, the details are so immaculate.
Yeah.
I love this. This is what I loved about, the extras on Lord of the Rings movies when they came out on DVD. All the behind the scenes look and how they did everything, and then how I mean, even stuff that you can't really see on camera, but you subconsciously see it because there's so much detail. It makes the world lived in. It
And-
just gives you that extra texture that you're not even aware of.
Yeah, and we have that in our show as well, right? There are so many stuffs that you can't really see, you really have to look out for. Like,
Yep.
I'm rewatching season 2 at the moment. 2 times now in a dream, Matt had a slash or something
Yeah.
over his eye.
Thank you, Aginor. Aginor is behind the scenes, is taking good care of us.
Yeah.
Making sure we stay in line.
Please wish him
Recovery.
something to get better because he's under the weather at the moment, so he can't
And-
join us, but he's still running.
Yeah. And what series, of course, comes with the scoop that Olivia Williams joins Amazon's The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Can you scroll down, Aginor? I want to see. I mean, that's one of those actresses that I can't place, but I have seen her in tons of stuff. I know. I just suck sometimes.
Now's the question: Will she be more gays? What series seems to be pretty sure, and they have never been wrong until now, as far as I'm concerned. So I guess we'll have our more gays.
Yeah, especially if they've seen them filming in the Camille and Androl sets. So yeah.
Together on the show. That seems pretty convincing.
The 6, of course. Yeah. Set to light in Dune Prophecy. Oh, is that the next one, or is it the third one? No, it's in. Okay, it's in.
It should be next Dune Prophecy. Yeah.
Yeah. If that's the next one. Yeah, and we will get Dune before the US. That feels good. In Europe, I think like 1 or 2 weeks before it comes to the US.
Yeah, they postponed it.
Yeah. It's because of the strikes.
Yeah, because they couldn't do any promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sorry, mistress.
We're waiting.
There's only the bearded ones today. I'm afraid to say.
For now.
For now.
Do I have
All right.
one left?
I think that's what's the news and.
Yeah. And then we had What a Holiday.
Yes.
And And again, the fandom raised a bit over $10,000, which is awesome. And I think the number will rise a bit more because of the Snackwater calendar, as far as I'm concerned. So we did pretty well again. That's something to be proud of.
Yes, everybody did such a great job. I was in and out watching the whole weekend. I missed our part because I was asleep. I blame it on my cold and stuff. And
that's fine.
Yeah. But you were doing good. I watched some of it afterwards, so I don't think my brain would have comprehended the things you were doing because I watched the flow chart. I don't understand this because my brain was still so foggy after the illness.
It was quite a challenge to argue, and then Uno and I changed the topic we should debate on. Unintentionally, but it was fine. It was fun. Yeah, it's fun. It was great. So, shall we discuss this week's Flicker? What if Galad became Egwene's water?
Oh, okay. Interesting. What if, indeed? Are we going to play the jingle? I don't know. It's up to you, Aginor.
It is believed there are worlds where a year is only a day here, and others where a day is a year here. There are supposed to be worlds where the very air would kill us at a breath, and worlds that barely have enough reality to hold together. And as we set out to explore these realities, remember one thing: be steadfast.
There we go.
Okay. There again is the question whether when will they bond? Well, obviously it's after Egwene is raised a Merlin seat.
I mean, as we have done before, it depends on when.
Yeah.
Because, Gavin becomes warder when she. Oh yeah, that's when she's actually in the tower, and the real tower, right? Or would he replace if he just switch places with Gavin? Oh gosh.
We all would prefer that.
What?
We all would prefer that switch.
Would. I mean that's it. It would be interesting because then would I highly doubt that Gavin would join the Children of the Light. That would be the biggest change, I think, because that's something that Galad does.
Yeah. I would think Gavin would throw himself from a bridge over the Arinan, and I'm pretty fine with that. Or he could go. Or you could go back to Andor and became first prince of the sword. And that's a good argument, Victoria, but I can't see Gavin share Egwene.
No, I mean, my God, my brain, it's not working. It's not working. I don't know. For then we have to consider what would happen with Galad's storyline. Then we wouldn't have the white cloaks.
Yeah, there would the embers on grass fight wouldn't happen, so he wouldn't be in charge of the white cloaks.
Indeed. And what would happen then if when Perrin met the white cloaks in?
They would kill him.
Yeah.
And he would let them.
I mean, do you think that if Galad wasn't the one leading them, would Perrin even consider, standing under their judgment? Because he knows Galad, so he knows enough that he knows that he's virtuous and kind of righteous.
Yeah.
I don't know because that would change stuff around. They wouldn't get the.
Valda would be in charge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember correctly. It's Valda against Galad. So that wouldn't. Well, at least Perrin would be imprisoned.
Yeah, probably.
Or lose a lot of men in a fight. Against the White Cloaks, and maybe they all got annihilated when the Dark Friends and Trollocs attack in the night. When Perrin goes back to rescue the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
And gains Galad's trust.
Oh yeah. Would he even do that if it wasn't for Galad? I don't know.
Yeah, but possibly the fight between the White Cloaks and his army would take so long.
Yeah.
So that the Trollocs would finish off what's left of them.
Maybe.
He would lose.
So that's one. Wouldn't go well, but what would happen with the Egwene storyline if Galad was in Gavin's place?
Well, Galad wouldn't for sure face down Demon Red.
No, he wouldn't. He would he would stay at her side, right?
But the question is, would Egwene last that long? But because she only lives to be at the last battle because stupid Gavin doesn't listen to her and put on those blood knife rings.
Yeah, and that was before he became warder, right? That was when he was like watching over her door and stuff.
Yeah. She sent him away and he ignored her.
I mean, if she told Galad to go away, he probably would have went away. But hey, we got some fresh opinions.
Hi.
Hey, welcome, Camille.
How are you doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
We're just discussing what would happen to Egwene's storyline if Galad became her warder. We just discussed what would happen because Galad won't be with the White Cloaks, and now what if Galad is the only warder to Egwene?
Rip. I literally just left work. I'm. Okay. What
feel
can
ya.
we say? What can we say? Yeah, there's some good question in the chat about whether Gawain would join the White Cloak or not. Gawain would not.
No, right?
No, like Gawain was very anti-White Cloak when Galad started looking into that.
Mhm.
So I feel like nobody would actually do the White Cloak thing. Would Gawain stick around with Egwene when there's a whole siege of the tower? I don't think so. So what would Gawain do? Except
know.
like, would he like actually go on a quest to kill Rand?
Or
Because
would-
he's very much anti-Rand for a long time.
yeah.
And it's just because he's too busy with Egwene that he doesn't have the time to do anything about that.
Or would he just stayed with the junglings? Because that's what he did before he went off to help Egwene.
Yeah, but at some point the younglings are gonna be on Eleda's side while what was I thinking? While Galad and Egwene are gonna be against the tower, and Will Gawain wants to fight his own brother, so I feel like he's not gonna stick around either. And at the same time, I don't think he was gonna want to fight with Galad and Egwene like on their side, because he's gonna be bitter than Egwene chose Galad and not him.
Of
I
course.
could see him fighting his brother just because he is with Egwene.
I'm wondering whether instead of focusing on his brother and Egwene, he's going to want to just leave to forget about them. And in that case, one thing he could do, since he's been talking about his sister for a while and how he's supposed to protect his sister, maybe he's going to try to find Elaine and stick to her side. So maybe it would instead change the plot in Camille.
Maybe. Depends if he goes back. Yeah. I mean, maybe he could have been one of those people who could actually stand up to his sister from doing so many stupid things during the succession wars.
Yeah, and he's gonna find out that his sister already has a warder, but I feel like because Elaine has associated this whole plot with that dark friend who basically becomes his head of her army. But if Gawain is around, Gawain would be the one leading the army. So that guy would have a lot less importance then.
Yeah, and to be fair, Gawain isn't really that annoying when he isn't with Egwene. When we first meet him in the palace gardens, he's actually a quite cool guy at the time. He tries to protect Rand, same as Elaine does. The annoying part comes afterwards. All the stuff, the obsession with Egwene and stupid decisions and not evaluate the facts when he gets told Rand killed his mother. It's a fact. No double checking, no fact checking.
Yeah, but at the same time, his distrust starts with the tower refusing to tell him where Elaine is. That's where the distrust starts, and it's a distrust that both Galad and Gawain feels. It's just that Galad fall into the White Cloak and Gawain doesn't. So I still feel like he would still think that Bran killed his mother. That would still affect him. I think for Gawain, Egwene doesn't choose him for a while, so I don't think like the beginning. I don't think it would change anything to like the first half of the books.
No, the changes will come in the later part, right?
Yeah.
When no matter if Egwene only has one warder or both of them as warders, because she wanted to choose green before she came a Murden Seed.
Yeah, but that would be... I know green can have multiple water, but there would be something very, very, very weird of her bonding the two brothers. And is she still into the two brothers? Like, what is going on here? It's...
I see that. I just wanted to come to this part.
I mean, it depends if they learn something from when they were humbled by Matt. Maybe.
Well, and they would have the advantage of speed, right? Because of the bond, if that would happen.
So do you think Galad would be stupid enough to use the rings that Gawain used? You know, the sentient rings?
No. Therefore, a double team warder would be great, because Gawain is stupid enough to do this and save Egwene, so that she can be at the last battle.
I don't know, because part of the reason why Gawain used those rings is also because it feels like he doesn't have any purpose, in a sense that Egwene is Yamianin, so she's not directly in combat, and he wants to do something, and he doesn't understand that. And I feel like in the scenario where both Galad and Gawain are warders, Galad would be more on the "what the fuck are you doing" side, and maybe that would be enough to put some thoughts in Gawain's head, because we know Gawain's head is empty in that last battle. It's Gawain has so much of toxic masculinity bullshit, in a sense that Gawain, I'm pretty sure that if Galad would say pretty much exactly the same things that Egwene say to Gawain, Gawain would listen more to Galad than he listens to Egwene. So yeah.
So if we go back to that double bonding experience, he wouldn't get it when Egwene tried to explain it. So Egwene have to tell Galad, so Galad could tell Gawain.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yep. But I really feel like if Egwene is choosing Galad, Gawain wouldn't stick around, because Gawain has this whole thing about how he's torn between his duty to Elaine and what he wants to, like, how he wants to support Egwene. And if he already knows that Egwene has someone to support her, and she basically has a man around to keep her safe, because Gawain is very much like that, then maybe he would be, more willing to go to Elaine and do his job on that side. Yeah, boys are dumb. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not in with the good people to say that, but man,
Well, yeah.
Gawain especially. Gawain is so frustrating because it's a character that had potential, and it's just constantly throwing it away.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was a quite interesting character until he joined Egwene, because I could see why he chose to stand with the tower, even though he didn't really like the ones in control of the tower or the sisters he was with, but it was a principle for him. So there, he and Galad had something in common, but it quickly spiraled out of control for him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I completely get Galad for siding against Swan, because I love Swan, but that's what you get when you never communicate with anyone.
Yeah.
At some point, people cannot trust you.
Yeah, but then he also realized that when his team doesn't communicate either, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other issue.
So I think they could have. I mean, something I would have changed, because I think that's something that Robert Wood Jordan wanted in Gavin, was that this trust issue, and this, as you said, he needs to have a purpose. He needs to have something to do, but he just he gets this in his own way.
Yeah. Do we have more to talk about them?
No.
Okay. I don't know whether you mentioned that, but did you went into the whole what if Galad doesn't become a White Cloak thing? Like, because there is some interesting thing regarding what would happen to Valda in that case.
Yeah, we're talking about a little about that. What would happen with the White Cloaks, and what would happen with? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
because that would change.
What was your conclusion?
So Valda would be in charge of the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
If Galad wouldn't be there, and if they then still would meet Perrin along the way, and Perrin would refuse to give himself up, they both would fight. Both armies, the White Cloaks. And maybe the Trollocs will finish off what's left of them. Who came in night.
Yeah.
That was our working theory so far.
That's a good one.
Well, practically, Perrin could flee because he has Ashaman with him. So they could open the way.
There's also a whole time where he cannot go anywhere because there's this there's this thing in Telan here that prevents
the dream spike.
Yes, the dream spike. So fleeing gets harder.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was Slayer who moved it all the time, so it didn't matter where they went on their travels, so they were always cut off from using gateways. So
right.
That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
So and they were herding them to the Trollocs pretty much because they wanted that ambush.
Yeah.
Good question.
What's the thing with Shanshan? Oh.
I think the White Cloaks wouldn't fight with the armies of light.
I mean,
even though they have to, but it's Valdar in charge, and for the last battle, just because there are so many channelers on. I'm not sure. Because
I feel like if Galad had not taken over the White Cloak, I don't know exactly what is making me think about that, but I feel like there would be an event that would just completely decimate the White Cloak, and that would be it.
Yeah.
Like they would not even make it to the last battle, either because they try to stick with Ascension and one betrayed the other, or because they would be some Trolloc and they would suffer from that. It's they would be just another pawn on the chessboard that needs to be removed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Last question: would the light win, or would the dark win again?
I mean, the thing is, Galad is smarter than Gawain. So, would Galad end up dying in a way that also push Egwene to do what she does? Not that I don't think Egwene wouldn't do that even if she still had the water, but maybe she wouldn't have the motivation to, actually do the flame of Tarvalon, or not to the same extent. I don't know. And if she doesn't do that, the light lose.
Yeah.
And the other side is Perrin would be there anymore, and his army wouldn't be there. So Fail wouldn't be there. So no Olva, no horn blowing. Slayer would still be around.
I mean, Perrin is still a Tavern. I don't think he would have died in any way. His army would probably have been reduced, but I'm doubtful that he wouldn't have made it to the last battle.
Yeah.
I think it's this one is
Okay. Can we stop talking about those men and move on?
okay. Let's spin the wheel.
Fuck me.
We can do.
I mean, that one is actually I'm perfectly okay with. He can stay with Morgaze. I mean, he's honestly better than Talonvor. So honestly, that would be a win for Morgaze, and that would remove Tom from around Moraine, and I am perfectly fine with that. So actually, a good thing.
Yeah.
What if Tom had stayed with Morgaze? I mean,
well,
no creepy Elaine nonsense. Probably not. No, I'm fine with that.
If I understand this correctly, he would have never left Camelin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
So he wouldn't be in Evan's Field on winter night, and he wouldn't save Brand and Matt from the fate.
Who knows? Maybe Brian would actually be someone hanging around it.
Well, maybe we would get another Gleeman called Steve.
Steve. That's where Steve is.
Yeah. Steve is the Walmart version of Tom.
Yeah. What does he do? There wouldn't be the succession war in Kyrian, right? Because he don't kill Galdrian, or what the king's name was.
I mean, who knows? Maybe him staying with Morgaze doesn't mean that he has to always be around her.
True.
So maybe Morgaze would be a bit more involved in the politics of the world and use him as like a master spy / something like that.
Assassin.
Yeah. I mean, Tom is very skilled. That'd be silly not to use that.
Yeah.
I think Tom might be the most skilled man who's not a challenger in the books.
Yeah.
He's very skilled in Dice Demar. He's a skilled fighter. He knows history.
He knows how to play music. I know it's not often relevant, but it's important to me.
Well, you don't get bored with Tom. He always has a story to tell, a song to sing. He knows the world. He's very skilled.
Yeah. I feel also one interesting story that could have happened is that they may had a fallout at some point and then found each other back later, like between Tom and Morgaze. I know with the show I'd be very interested to see like whether we could have some merging of Brian and Tom and removing Talonvor, because Morgaze deserves so much more than Talonvor.
Yeah.
Gosh, that shit of a human being. Men.
You know.
I'm sorry. I'm very misandrist today. I work too much with men.
Oh, we got some information here.
Oh. Oh no. Spoiled baby and a tool of the White Tower. Wow. Yeah, man, you deserve to be in the doghouse for a while.
Oh yeah. Barely dodging the execution block.
So basically, he was complaining about is that called the Vilness? Is that how they call it? That period where the Red Aja kept gentling men without a trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was onto something. So I feel like something that could have been interesting is for him to, instead of just kind of gave up on that, but try to figure out a way to prove that he was correct about that. Or maybe he tried, but it's true that with the essay that it's complicated to find this kind of information. But anyway.
I'm thinking about, would Matt have been able to save Moraine from the tower?
Tom is not needed.
Tom is not needed. Okay. Fair enough.
Matt can play music.
Yeah.
I mean, not as good as Rand, but it's. I mean, if you want a third person to go to Genji, you can have Swan.
Yeah. To be quite honest, that I like it, but I don't like it. I like it because they are breaking into a place. They're doing a heist, pretty much. I don't like it because it's we have to rescue the maiden trope.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, and also it just takes out one of the best players in the Wheel of Time. for a long period in the books. So I don't know if in the show, I don't know how they will do it, if they will do it at all. But no, you can't be in here for like 2 or 3 seasons. That wouldn't work with.
I think they can. I do see the potential of the Genji scene, because a heist scene in TV can be very good.
Yes,
and I think it would be sad to skip it. However, they don't need to wait that long to bring Moraine back or to get rid of her that early, because I mean, she disappears for books, but also for a lot of those books, there's technically not a long time that has passed.
No, that's true. But I don't think the payout was enough in the books, to be quite honest, because you have to save the world, and she comes back and
do nothing,
doth fuck all. So I mean, she just says something. Oh, you have to break the seals, and
I mean, there's a reason why I'm not super fond of those last few books.
Yeah, so that it just felt rushed and not impactful enough. So if they're going to do it, shorten it down and maybe give Moraine something, impactful to do in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still there's several women in that last book that I feel like were quickly dismissed, and it's honestly stupid how little they had to do. Nynaeve is one of them. Moraine is definitely one of them. Swan dying off screen is definitely among the things that I'm angry about. And then the last important female character are like Egwene, who's dying, and Elaine, who's pregnant. That's such a great image of powerful ladies in those books. So yeah, I do have a lot of issues with how the last battle went and how that last book went in general. So I do hope they, like, even if Moraine technically doesn't have that much to do in the last book, the thing is that there's so many characters involved in those books, especially towards the end, and so many different plotline going on, that, I mean, you can probably remove a few smaller characters that appears later on and give more plot to the main characters that we see from the start. And then you're like, that's it.
I'm not sure whether we get the Finns at all. Something about the tea scene between with Matt and Ishii made me think, well, I'm not sure whether we get the Finns at all.
Oh, we are definitely getting them.
You think?
I have zero doubt about that. It's I know that as book reader, we always are wondering whether what we're seeing are Easter eggs or foreshadowing. But there are way too many moments that directly give reference to later Finn plotline that it feels weird that not to have that. Like, we see Matt losing an eye multiple times in the second season. We get a vision of Matt being hanged. We get his fake Ascendere. That is definitely not the real Ascendere. Be for real.
No, definitely not.
We see there was a Dearest Swan that was just a cute note. And I think there was a few other things too. And I know, wasn't there someone that went to the set of season 3 and took some picture, and in the background you find, I think it's a game where you see, it's a game of Fox and Snakes or something like that?
No, I think Nabelis mentioned that in his video about the visit of the set in Prague.
Yeah, but I think it's on a picture from someone that is not actually in the fandom that was there.
Okay. Yeah, that might be.
Yeah. So it's like, if they take the time to actually put them like as, because that's that's something that is definitely in the background of a scene or something like that. So that means there's definitely a care for this kind of little that's an Easter egg typically, but you don't do that kind of Easter eggs just to please book readers.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt about the film.
Raven could get rid of Tom as well, as Victoria said, and he would then be an agreement.
Maybe they could have, instead of Fallout that is a lot later in the timeline. So instead of, because when we see Tom, it's been more than a decade since he has left Morgaze, I think.
Yeah.
But instead of a decade earlier, it would be interesting for him to leave maybe an hour or two, a year or two before the beginning of the series. So we still get what he does in the first few books, but then he's still very attached to Morgaze. And one thing that I find kind of sad and disappointing is that, does he know about Raven in the books? Do we see him reacting to that?
I can't recall.
Because we know Matt and Tom go to Camlin because Matt has a letter to give to Morgaze, and that's when he finds out that there's a plot on a plot to get rid of the girls, and that's why he goes to Tyr. But I'm actually not sure whether he actually tell Tom that there's people manipulating Morgaze there.
Yeah, no, I don't think he actually knows about that.
And I feel like if Tom and Morgaze had a fallout that was a lot later, like not that long ago from the beginning of the series, then maybe Tom will be a bit more invested in figuring out how to help out Morgaze and be a bit more affected by what's happening to her, and we could get a fun reunion at some point. I don't know. I feel like that would have been an interesting twist.
Yeah,
that would work. Would it change the plot so much that the Shadow will win? I think. I mean, he's around so much, but does he have the greatest impact? I don't know.
I mean, the thing is that we've already mentioned a bunch of different possibility of how that specific scenario could have gone. I feel like it could have been something like, I see this change a bit like what the show did with Moraine and Swan, in the sense that them still being together in the show doesn't change the main storyline, but it change some of the dynamics between the characters. And I feel like Tom staying with Morgaze could have done that.
Yeah.
And in that case, then maybe it doesn't really change the ending of the last battle.
Yeah. It also depends on will there be in the reunion after he gets removed by Raven. Would Morgaze go to Amadisia and we have all that plot? Or would she go and try to find Tom? So then maybe they wouldn't hide in Perrin's army, and Morgaze is a key figure in the rescue of Fael, because she waves the flag, so that they could get fined in those in this broken down building.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on where Tom is during that time, if he was there at all. But I mean, as said before, I mean, Ravin could probably get rid of him quite easily if he wanted to, either by
Yeah.
But
Get-
she could go and try to find him in the world after she the compulsion breaks and she leaves Linny.
Yeah, but maybe he would be thinking that Morghese is dead because that's what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she could go and search for Tom instead of going to Amadisia.
Where would she find him? She doesn't know. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like you could technically say the same thing with Brian, and she didn't try to reach out to him either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right.
And I don't remember exactly what Morghese thinking about that, whether she feels any sort of, guilt for having fallen to the compulsion and having pushed away Brian. Yeah, I mean, if under compulsion she pushed away Tom or Brian, like in the books, maybe she just thinks that Tom wouldn't help her because he wouldn't understand that it was not what she wanted to do or something like that. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I don't think that's if this wouldn't happen and all the plot would stay the same, more or less, it wouldn't change anything on the ending of the books.
Yeah. I really think it could be like a Moraine and Swan situation,
Yeah, probably.
which would be cute. But at the same time, I'm like, anything that brings Tom away from Moraine, I'm all here for that.
Yeah. Do you think they will do it in the show? The Moraine and... I don't think so.
Moraine
I
and
don't
Tom,
think
no.
so.
I
I
hope
don't
not.
think so as well.
No, it's like if they had any intention of setting it up, they would have set it up. They would have
Yeah.
set it up already.
Yeah.
And
They
like right now,
haven't-
we are 2 seasons in. Tom and Moraine have never met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They haven't shared one scene.
Yeah,
Indeed.
we completely forgot that Tom existed in season 2.
No. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Didn't. Poor guy.
I'm pretty sure it was just conflict, like timing issue or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was filming the 1899 on Netflix at the time.
Ah.
So I don't think he could get out of it.
Well,
That is not-
he would have better dumped that and stayed at what, because 1899 is dumped now and will never be picked
Yeah.
up again.
I mean,
heard it
depends
was
on
pretty
the
good, but-
role. I heard it was very good, but I
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I haven't
yeah.
watched it either. I know that Rajesh is the big fan of 1899 and is still very angry that they dumped it.
I kind of don't watch Netflix anymore because what's the point? Everything's gonna be cancelled anyway. So
Yeah, and a lot of stuff that I started in the last few weeks, I couldn't make it through episode 2 because it was just too shitty.
I'm super excited because the season 2 of Vigil is starting on Sunday. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Well, what
It's
was its
not-
name?
Vigil. It's a BBC TV show. It's the first season. It's more of a thriller kind of vibe, and the first season, half of it is basically in the submarine, and yeah, it's. I'm excited for the second season. I love a good thriller, so I have 3 genres that I like. fantasy, thriller, and the medical drama because because I grew up with them. Okay.
Okay. No, we're not judging. It's fine. I watch my share of Grey's Anatomy, stuff like that, because
Yeah.
it was always on, right? When you
I
didn't have
mean-
all the channels.
No, it's also because my parents are in like. My mom is a pharmacist, my dad is a vet, so they're kind of like those kind of thing. So yeah, it was Dr. House, Grey's Anatomy, ER,
Mhm.
all of them. Okay. Do we want to do another one? Do we want? What do we want to do? How much time do we have?
We're at
I've
1 hour at the moment.
Yeah, I've got about 20 minutes left.
We could do a short one, maybe.
Yeah.
What if Lan was in charge of making a knife? It doesn't change anything.
No,
No, that was a fast one.
that was a really short one.
So, yeah. Robert, I have issue with you. Robert. Gender dynamics in the Wheel of Time. Here's my TED Talk. Okay, is there anyone in the chat who has any thoughts on the topics? On the topic. Code Black makeups. I don't know Code Black.
Is Lan in charge at all in the books?
I mean that
Because I don't think
rule
so.
that rule is just supposed to come to Nynaeve and him,
But that's not
as in their dynamics. But I mean, that's if you go by the sea folk, and they're not known. None of them are sea folk. So
Yeah, and that's why it's like in public. I can't even remember elements after they got married that really shows, oh, Nynaeve is the one in charge and Lan just shut the fuck up. Because Lan in general tends to shut the fuck up anyway. And Nynaeve is a strong character. So it's like, it doesn't feel like anything with their dynamic changed particularly. And
no, and they weren't together, married for so long before. Oh, I put you here in the Borderlands.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go before you and warn everybody. So we didn't see much of their dynamic, so it's
Yeah.
hard to hide.
So it really feels like that could have been skipped so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
but,
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be like a fun thing. So just Robert Jordan's humor is weird sometimes. I think it just thinks, oh, wouldn't it be fun if it was like this?
Yeah, and I don't even remember if that's something that both like that Nynaeve and Lan think about that, or if it's
No.
another character who makes a comment about that.
I think I don't know. I don't remember actually because it was such a little mention. Oh, they had some weird rituals, the sea folks and their marriage vows or something like that.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if in the books it would be like Egwene thinking about Nynaeve being always like very strong-minded, and then remembering the sea folk marriage and wedding and being like, oh, so maybe Nynaeve is a freak in the shit. So I don't know. Thinking about your friend and oh, they fuck. Always something you don't want to think about.
Oh gosh. No. Nothing would change about the series at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing
It was-
at all.
It was already irrelevant to the books.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's Lan is always quiet and reserved, and Nynaeve is very outspoken, right? So the only thing that would change is that Lan would have to say more
Yeah.
to become in charge in public.
Does Lan
Yeah.
even want to be in charge in
No.
public? Like, I mean, he's been a warder for so long. It's like, you know already as a warders, and you tend to follow what the acid I say. Dovey has an interesting comment about the will he ride along, and I don't mind the scene. I do think it's a nice scene, but I don't like what the fandom does with it, because it's not Nynaeve's best scene.
No.
And there's some people that are like, yes, this is Nynaeve's best scene or whatever, and you're like, is it because she's basically saving that dude's ass, or or what? Yeah, that's a scene that I'd be curious to see how it goes in the show.
Yeah. Such a betrayal.
Okay, do you have anything to say?
I have something to say. If you want more, everybody in the chat, if you want more flickers about women in the Wheel of Time, just submit them and we will add them to the wheel.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yes, please do.
I'm very bad at generating IDs, so creating new flickers, not really something that I'm good at. But yeah, true, I get that. She's saving him by sending hundreds of others to their deaths. Sometimes
I mean, they would have died anyway sooner or later if the shadow invaded the borderlands.
Yeah.
So she just tried to plug the leak from.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. I mean, she probably be really effective if she just went to the blight into the Tower's Gap and just wreaked some havoc. I mean, the Tower's Gap thing, did nobody ever thought about, just leveling the mountains so there wasn't a gap anymore?
Right?
That would be like really easy for a couple of channelers, right?
Just destroy it and that's it. No more gap.
I mean, and that's even before the shadows started having dreadlords and the Forsaken were free again. I mean, they could have done this like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah. Like they don't even, it's not even as if it was like a commercial road that you need to leave intact. Like as soon as Malkier is out, they don't need to go through like the gap anymore. So just get rid of it.
Heard it here first. Fill in the gap.
Yeah. Maybe they thought that if they left the gap intact, that would give a single place to save, like to protect, instead of like if you feel it, people are gonna try to pass another way. Like Trollocs are gonna try to pass another way, and you could be more surprised by where that happens. Who knows?
Yeah, but it was so easy for them. I mean, just run straight through. No traps. No, dig some ditches. Ditches are good in war. Ditches are your friend.
Hey, maybe they have some in the books. We just didn't see them in the show.
Oh, the show was really good. Oh, it's a flat land with nothing on it.
Well, they had a wall.
Oh, yeah. They have the wall.
They charged.
Yeah,
They charged the wall they already had.
Yeah. Such a low wall that he can climb through the window. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well.
So, do we want to pick a flicker for next week?
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. Next week's flicker. I don't know how to say that fast.
Oh,
Oh, that's bad.
We're still gonna be talking about men. Okay. Well, wait, don't hide it. Did we wrote it anyway? What if the White Cloaks controlled Andor?
Yay!
Yeah.
well, that wouldn't. That will stop making Elaine daughter heir of Andor. And
Let's not
yes,
talk about it right now. Otherwise, we're not gonna know what to talk about next week.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, should we stop there?
Yeah.
In that case, thank you everyone for tuning in. We hope you had a great time. And flick, 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 flick.
Something we
Anyway.
all can come get behind. Yes.
See you next week.
See you next week.
The next
Everyone,
week.
Thanks for
have a
tuning in.
nice week.
Bye.